How's it going, everyone? Derek from Make Media Studios, and this week I have my buddy Arturo Rangel. He is yeah. Did I get it?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
That was a tongue twister. I've been practicing it here for a couple minutes. Arturo, you're an actor here in the South Bay area, and I've worked with you on a couple of sets, and it's been a lot of fun. And I just wanted to have you on the podcast today and talk to you about the acting life. How's that going for you?
Oh man, let me tell you that I've been very, very blessed and very, very fortunate, and I've just been continuously growing, and it's been great and a lot of fun. And I'm lucky to still even be working sometimes during the quarantine. Like not too many actors are, and I've been very, very fortunate to be able to get a couple gigs here and there. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it's hard
to share.
Quarantine life here with any type of creative work, I think, is definitely stunted at the moment. But it's good you're still getting work because how long have you been doing this acting stuff?
I got started probably like 2.5 years ago.
Oh wow!
And working actor wise, like everybody can be an actor, but if you become a working actor, then that's when like you're doing something, you're getting up there, right?
Right. So, well, what's the definition of that? Give me the definition of just a normal like actor then working actor. What's the definition of that? So I have it.
I mean, I feel like if a person wants to say they're an actor, like it could be a hobby, it could be something in school, or what I define as working actor is like someone that does it like professionally, someone that's making it their job,
right?
And that's what I learned as I was taking classes right before I got started. And I learned from an actress herself who's been in the industry for 5 years. Her name's Jackie Dallas. And she told me, your goal is to be a working actor. You want to get paid for your craft. So yeah, that's my definition of it. That's what it was explained to as me, or that was how it was explained to me. And I decided to make it a profession, a career.
Nice. When did how long before that switch over to where you started making it as a full-time job? Were you doing it kind of for fun before that or anything?
Honestly, no.
Okay.
No, I had always wanted to be an actor. My cousins and I got started when we were like 6 years old. Okay. My grandma, she had a camera laying around and we would grab it and just like do stunts, do skits. We would impersonate her, which she hated, but it was pretty funny. And I just probably about 3.5 years ago, I moved back to California and I was like, you know what, I'm going to make the switch because I was living in Arizona at the time. Okay. I was like, I'm just going to figure out what I can do to become an actor. So it probably took 1.5 years to fully get settled in and say, okay, now I can pursue this career.
All right. Awesome. When did, what kind of was the first start to that working actor? What did you do first? What was like your first gig?
Oh my God. It was, I was an extra. I was an extra for the show Big Little Lies. It was filming over here in Monterey. And I showed up to the casting because this is the first time I'd ever heard about extras even being, casted here locally. So I went down there and there was like 600 people in line waiting to get in. And I don't know, I got very fortunate. I got picked, I got selected. And as soon as I was able to be on set, I just kind of realized like, man, this is exactly what I thought it was going to be. This is so cool. But, being an extra is cool, but it's like, no, you want to try to go after a role. You want to try to, be a character. You want to tell a story. So I started with the extra stuff or maybe like 1 or 2 things. And then I said, okay, now it's time to go and try to go after a role.
Got it. And how'd you find that casting opportunity here? Like that, where did you, was it at college or where was it that you found out?
No, it was one of my cousin's mother-in-laws saw the posting about it in Facebook. And she knew that, they always have your back, right?
Exactly.
And it's funny because I had not even met my mother-in-law at the time, or my cousin's mother-in-law. I had not met her yet. And my cousin likes to hype me up, like, oh, my cousin's going to be a big star, and this is what he came back to California to do. Right. And she sent it over to me, and I went down there. I just went with I think they required one headshot and then just your up-to-date information. So
nice.
Yeah.
What did you do as an extra? But what was the scene, or what was it like? Because I mean, set life is amazing, right? Like that's that's what drew you in. You saw that set, and that's what happened to me, man. Like when you're on a big set with like a crew and a whole bunch of people, it's just something about it, like that working machine that just kind of draws you in. You're like, man, this is like, it's magical almost.
it's so magical because like you can only do stuff in movies that you can't do in real life, right? Like, when do you have a picnic right next to the ocean side with like, you know, some celebrity? Like for me, it was I was close to Nicole Kidman.
Okay.
I was working in the scene with Nicole Kidman and Reese Witherspoon. Nice. And then Meryl Streep came in at the end. And I was just like 6 feet away from them. She was looking at us. She was saying hi. We were sitting there talking to her, and we were just like, wow, like, I just remember looking at her like, that's you that I've been looking at the movies for so long. Like, that's so crazy. I was starstruck. But the scene was, we had a picnic out there in Lover's Point. They set up like a little cafe area out there, and they were talking about just like the drama and stuff that's happening in the show.
Right.
And then we had another scene where we went to the courts because she had to take the boys to court for some reason in I think it was the second season of Big Little Lies.
Okay.
And that's when we really got to be close with Nicole Kidman. And I don't even know where the hell the cameras were set up at, because the producers and the directors, they must have hid it behind like a glass or something. But we were filming the entire time. I had no idea. They were just like, okay, you
walk around,
act like you're walking in. Okay, everybody's walking into court. Okay, she's going to come in now. Okay, we're good. All right, guys, thanks. I was like, okay. This is interesting, but all right.
Was that kind of like meeting or seeing these actresses and seeing them in real life? Was that kind of a realization for you that you're like, these are just everyday people, like they're doing what I want to do and I can do this? Is that kind of hit you?
Yeah, dude, it hit me like right away.
Yeah.
I know you work out over at GFF and Gold's Gym, right?
Yep.
And we have sometimes we have some celebrities that'll come in like low key. We'll have a couple, like 1 or 2 every like 6 months. But I met Lindsay Morgan.
Okay.
She's on the show The 100. She's like the mechanic, and she's like drop dead beautiful. So I was working there at the gym. I think that's how I kind of met you, right? Like we had seen each other on and off because I was working at the gym.
I saw you at the gym, and then you were on the set with Trevor Rock, and you did.
Oh yeah,
we did the film Morgan Hill, and then I was the director of photography for that, and then I've seen you at the gym some more, and then the Giggly Dickens shoot. That's our two appearances on set together. I wish it would have been on Big Little Lies. That would have
been dude, you would have had so much fun. I could totally see you out there doing your thing, man.
Dude,
and you definitely will.
I'm working on it every day, a little bit closer. I like we'll see, man. I'm always just trying to find the next thing. I'm applying to jobs like right before we got on this podcast. I'm looking for gigs here and there.
That's what it is. It's the grind, man. Last night I was still handling sending emails back, talking to people, because it's like, it's really like for us in this industry, it's like day and night, you know, like in the morning you got to do something, at night you got to do something, you could be on vacation, you got to do something. Like
I was just in Disney World the last couple of days. Actually, I just came back for my birthday. Went with my wife.
That's awesome. Me. Happy late birthday, by the way.
Thanks, bud. No, I agree with that whole night. Like anytime, I like that. That's what I like doing this freelance. For me, it's freelance, right? Freelance videography. I have to grind for that work and find those gigs and those jobs to keep going. I kind of find it exciting. It's frustrating at sometimes, but it makes me work harder for what I want. I don't know. I feel like it's night and day though, like you were saying, because this morning I felt like, man, I'm trying to find a gig. There's just nothing. And then within the last hour and a half, like 2 things have kind of popped up that I'm like, oh man, I got to get these. So I'm talking to people and messaging people, and I'm trying to get in. And it's like, oh, there's no work. And then there's a whole bunch of work. Do you get that? Do you get that same thing kind of sometimes where it's like dead, and then all of a sudden it just switches and a whole bunch of things are happening?
Oh, definitely, dude. And that's something that, you know, like everyone in our industry should realize, that once you get the ball rolling, it's like you put so much effort and energy into one thing and then another thing pops up. And then it's just like, I remember trying to handle like 4 or 5 different things like a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And I realized that it does get overwhelming, you know, like once you get it going, you just got to hang on and do your best.
Right.
And then there'll be a time where you get like a week break and you'll be like, okay, let me recharge. And then you just go right back at it.
Yeah. Especially when you sit there and you're like, oh, you start to think, you're like, oh man, I don't know if I can handle all this. There's too many things coming at me at once. But you're like, well, wait, I remember a couple of weeks ago when there was nothing coming at me. So I'm going to push through this no matter what, because I'm going to make this work. And then I know I'm going to get another break here pretty soon because it's a wait.
Yeah.
You got to ride that wave.
Fingers crossed you get a break, man. That's why I feel like everyone that's like has like a project going on. Like I've met a couple production people or like directors and producers that they'll be filming for like a month and a half off, or they'll be filming for a month and a half straight. And then next thing you know, when they're done, they're at the beach or they're like in Mexico or they're somewhere just relaxing, because it does take a toll. It definitely takes a toll. And then, you know, you got to find your happy point.
Yeah. It's always kind of, like I said, speeding up. And then I'm getting these waves, but the waves are always kind of increasing, right? You're always getting a little bit more work and then a little less break, but a little bit more work, a little less break. So that's good.
Yeah.
So you told me recently that you were getting represented now. Was that right? So that was like kind of your next step. You were telling me that you went Big Little Lies, then you moved over and you started looking for roles. You wanted to play characters, tell stories. What was your first kind of roles there? And then we'll intro back into the getting towards representing.
Well, you know, I can actually, we can do both at the same time, because when I decided to actually go like full time, like this is my career, I got represented right off the bat.
Okay.
I have this agent, and her name's Tabitha Kitt. She's out of Sacramento. Okay. And we became friends on Facebook. And then I just, I started posting little things that I would do here and there. And then she was like, hey, why don't you come on by and apply to be part of my agency. So I was like, okay. So I went down there and I did a monologue. I took my 2 headshots. I took my resume, which had Big Little Lies on there. It's like, I didn't really have much, but, you know, I put it on there and I kind of made it look like, you know, somewhat professional.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting a contract from her for 2 years.
Nice.
So that's when I was like, yes, you know, like, okay, now it's time to go in full force. So I think my first role was through her, and I was doing commercials for like probably 80% of the work that I did. Okay. A lot of the Bay Area work is commercial or like print. Right. You know, there's not too much TV and film, but over the last year, it's actually been increasing like ridiculous amount. Okay. So yeah, that's what I was doing. I was a dad.
I saw that.
I was a dad in a commercial. Yep. I was an attorney client. I was a dental patient.
Okay.
But it's pretty cool because I got to meet the different production teams. I got to meet casting directors, and through my agent, I was actually able to get my first union audition, which is through SAG-AFTRA. And I actually nailed that audition and I got the role. So
good job, man. Is that something that just happened recently?
It happened about a year ago, but there's been some complications with the project. Okay. But I still can hold that as SAG eligible because it was all done through SAG. So the fact that I got booked through as a principal role on a series, which is like reoccurring. Yeah. I'm SAG eligible until I have to become a must join.
Okay, SAG eligible. Okay, I'm gonna dig into that. So I don't know too much about SAG. Okay, I've been on set with some SAG actors. So I just recently, a couple weeks ago, I had an actor on here from Ford versus Ferrari.
Oh, nice.
So he was on a film set at school through San Jose State. And we had all SAG actors. Now we had like, I believe it was like an AD that was filling out the SAG pay sheets because there's, you know, they have to have their break at a certain time, all that, but it's an actual official SAG, payroll sheet and all that. It's very interesting. So
yeah, they're
what is, yeah, it's nice. It's great. I mean, that's cool. So you're SAG eligible. What does that mean?
SAG eligible. So to become SAG, you need to either book a principal role in a series,
okay,
or you need to have like 3 union vouchers.
Okay.
So you need to do 3 projects on a union, or you need to work for the SAG 3 times. So if you do it once, you get your first voucher.
Okay.
And then the second one that you do, you become SAG eligible.
Okay.
Which means that if by the time you work on your 3rd project and it's a union project, that means you have to pay and you have to join SAG in order to work on that project, or else you can't.
Interesting.
So
how does that what does SAG cost? What does SAG cost? Is it expensive or? Is it percentage?
So there's 2 different prices for it, because it's divided between Northern California and like LA, Hollywood.
Okay.
And like Northern California, San Francisco, I believe it's $1,600, perhaps $1,800
for the year
to join.
Okay.
And then for LA and Hollywood and pretty much everywhere else in the world, it's $3,000.
Wow.
So
why is Bay Area so? I mean, what's funny is Bay Area's, it's the opposite for me. Actually, videographer in the Bay Area, not SAG related, but like when LA hits up any videographers in the Bay Area, they usually get intimidated because our prices are a little bit higher. Hence, the cost of living up here is higher. So very interesting that it's opposite for for SAG actors.
Well, and I think it's just because like there's way more opportunity for us actors over there in LA.
Right.
And like that's where most of I think it's the leading like union work is happening in LA and Hollywood. So but the cool thing is, like, if you were to pay the $3,000 in Hollywood, then it would cover the Northern California costs. It would cover the entire world.
Interesting.
So
do you, have you thought about going to Hollywood at all? Or like going down to LA?
Yeah. I definitely, my plan with my agency and with acting consultant, Jackie Dallas, my plan is to just like get as much experiences that I can in the Northern California region, like Sacramento, Bay Area. Get as much experience as I can, get my resume looking solid, get my reel looking solid. And then I feel like I would have a better chance in LA, because that's like the belly of the beast. You're a grain of rice and with a million other bags, so it's like you definitely want to up your chances of getting casted. And I think when I officially become SAG or union is when I will go down to LA and I'll start looking for those jobs.
One of the fun things that I met, like a teacher, we were talking a little bit more on the production side of the house. I met some people from LA, and the way the analogy that they gave me was, in the Bay Area, in 1 month, I might find 10 gigs. I'll find 10 gigs in a month that I will say, hey, can I do this? And maybe one of the 10 will say yes, right? Mm-hmm. In LA, you'll go through those 10 in like 4 or 5 days. So you're you know what I mean? There's more gigs available. So your 10% chance of a yes is 4 times greater, because there's more no's that you're going to go through, right? There's more no's to feed through to get the one yes than up here, where you're going to have a lot more no's. It's like there's less no's. Anyways, it's an interesting analogy. Like I haven't, because I want to go down to LA and do a couple years and just try to see what it's like and if it's worth it. But I know I like being up here in the Bay Area because I feel like a larger fish in a smaller pond, like kind of like.
Oh yeah. That's we're largemouth bass, bro.
So, what you got anything coming up in the future that you can talk about? I think you were telling me that there were some things which you couldn't talk about. So.
Yeah. So I couldn't talk about it, but I feel like it's already like past. Like I auditioned for it and I don't think I got the job, because like usually when you don't get the job, you just don't hear anything back, right?
Okay.
It's not like they're just like, no. It's not like TV where it's like, no, you suck and you're never gonna, like they usually just don't hit you back, right?
Right. And no thank you for applying or anything, just kind of
sometimes if the production company is really cool, if I'm going through my agency and they're the ones reaching out to the client, then I probably won't hear back. But if it's like a self-submitting kind of project, where it's like maybe I was like the second person that would get the role, then they would message you back and be like, thank you. But yeah, for this project in particular, I don't think I got it, just because it was a huge project, man. And it was actually for Pixar.
Ooh.
So I was really excited that I got an audition for Pixar.
Okay.
And, I had to sign an NDA, a confidentiality agreement, and I can't share the script or share anything about it.
What the project was.
But at least I can. Yeah, what was that?
You can't release what the project was, but you can say that you auditioned for Pixar type of thing.
Right.
That's cool.
Right.
Was that here? I mean, Pixar is here in the Bay Area.
Yeah, it's in Emeryville, actually.
Okay.
It's East North Bay,
Nice.
Northeast Bay.
Was it animated or was it live action? I'm not gonna dig deep. I just wanted to know, because I know that Pixar mostly is animated. So I mean.
Oh yeah, this was animated, and it was all voiceover. So nice. I went to my buddy's house, and he's a music producer. Nice. So he has this nice setup, and he was able to really grasp like the clarity of the voice. So the quality was there. But I mean, I know a couple other people that also auditioned for it.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like, I don't know, like there's so many other big names that could have taken it,
Hey, you might still get hit up. Maybe things are just kind of on pause because of all the things that are going on.
You know what? And that could be true, because remember I told you I was going on vacation? I left for like a week and a half, and that's when all the changes happened. Right. And I had just done the audition before I left. Right. So when I came back, it was like, whoa, things kind of changed in California a little bit. So yeah, that would be great, actually, if I could hear back from them and they'll be like, hey, we need a second audition.
We'll put that out in the world right there. They're going to call you. So everything's going to be fine.
Yeah. Thank you, man. I feel
You're welcome.
so much better.
See, if it's said here on the podcast, let me tell everyone out there in the world, you need to come on the podcast and you say it out into the world. It happens. This is going to be the first proof of that. Give it like a month.
This is going to be the first proof of that, man. Yeah. Dude, that would be epic, honestly. Like, I'm a big believer in just the good energy that you put out. Mm-hmm. A lot of what happens in this industry is based on how you work and how you're able to be directed and all that. You build up a reputation.
Right.
So, yeah, definitely. We're putting it out into the world.
It's nice. You meet the people that really make it, I feel like, are the people that can kind of get along with everyone on a set. Really, it's all word of mouth, and it's all kind of like who you know. It's not really it is kind of who you know, but yeah, you got to be nice, and people like you. That's what you need.
Yeah. Well, check this out. I'm gonna give you guys a little advice that I had gotten from my acting consultant, which I had to pay for, but I'm gonna give it to you guys for free.
Good. There you go. Everyone, listen up. Turn up your volume.
Check it out, guys. Shh. So that's one thing a lot of people like think, right? It's like, it's not about, or it's about who you know. Right. Like you gotta know this person so they can bump you up on this movie.
Right.
But the reality is, it's not about who you know, it's about who knows you.
Interesting.
Right?
Okay.
So like, if the director the director meets like 1,000 people in a month,
right,
or in a year, whatever it may be. But if that director knows you personally, and he knows that you are hardworking and you fit roles and you're a good person to work with, then he will bring you back for future projects.
Yep.
So that's a little secret I learned. So that's something that I've been incorporating with myself when I go out to all these projects. Like, I'm always welcome to come back, because they'll know that I'll do the job.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense, man. I mean, like, I feel like it's kind of the same thing on the video side of the house. What I'm actually liking about this podcast is, one, it gave me something to do when this quarantine stuff happened. I started doing like these videos for myself and the YouTube channel, but then I started reaching out to I met a guy from YouTube that I follow, and he does product videos, and I just made that White Claw video. I watched what he did, but then my wife actually reached out on an Instagram and started messaging people, because she'd seen me talk about it. Like, oh man, I wonder if I can get one of them on the podcast. So she went on my Instagram and DM'd these guys, and a couple of them hit me back, like that actor from Ford versus Ferrari. He said yes. Yeah. And I feel like it's me just meeting people. This is my way of meeting people from my own home on this screen, but it's connecting in a way. And, like that guy works on those corporate videos or those commercial videos. And he invited me to come out and shoot with him. He was like, yeah, come on. I've never met the guy, you know, I follow him on YouTube, and he's like, yeah, come on out and shoot, you know? So it's like, I have to take him up on the offer, but it's cool. It's cool. It's all about
that's the
meeting
beauty
people.
of like social media is like you can do that. And I mean, I feel like everyone that I've come across in this industry is like just hands down like the greatest people ever, you know. Like you'll meet like some really cool people that are just like, yeah, come on out, you know, we're gonna be working on this film, why don't you come on out? And then you come out there and sure enough it's like, well, why don't you help us out? Why don't you just go ahead and jump in? Why don't you just, you know? And I feel like with social media, you can definitely reach out and you can get to know so many people. So I'm really glad that that actor hit you up. And I mean, it's exciting for us actors to be like, yeah, let me share my side of the story.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it was really cool. And thank you for coming here and talking to me today. But also,
no
so some of the things that, I lost my train of thought.
Oh, the product and the guy in the commercial.
No, it was really cool to start meeting these people and really connect and just try to like expand your network as much as you possibly can. You got any tips for people? What you gave a little bit of a tip earlier, but anyone that's out there watching this and wanting to get into acting, what would you say they should do?
I would just come prepared, you know, like I would definitely try to set yourself up financially before you start joining this world, because, you know, it's never guaranteed that you're going to find the next job, you know, so definitely have some financial stability, and then just come with your resume, come with your headshots. Your headshots determine if it's like your intro, you know, like when a producer or casting director looks at your headshot, they want to see a little bit of you, not just like your face. They want to see a little bit of your personality. So definitely have a great headshot, crystal clear headshot, and then just be humble, be kind, be hardworking, be driven, and good things will come very quickly. You just dive into it, just go in the deep end and
jump on in.
Make sure you have, you know, the right amount of strength to swim. That's pretty much it. That's what I can tell.
Right. So your financial stability, I understand that, because like I'm at a point now where I'm like with freelance, it's like I need to have 3 months, at least 3 to 6 months kind of there to cover what I need. And that's something I've done now that I've gotten older. When I was younger, that was the hardest thing for me to do, because I'd always get money.
You learned, you feel like I'm the same way, man. Like I was like 26 when I started this journey. And that's when I realized like, I need a couple grand in the bank. Like I need to start saving. So I worked probably for about a year and a half, straight, just like 5-6 days a week, saving. And then when I went out to go after these jobs, I didn't have to worry about, you know, whether gas was going to be covered or my bills were going to be covered. So I think that's the biggest cushion that you could have in this industry, is if you have some financial stability, some savings to back you up.
Nice. Well, I think we're getting here close to the end on this. Thanks for talking to me today.
Yeah, no problem. It's been a great morning.
I
appreciate you bringing me on.
Yeah, dude, awesome. No, I'm really glad you came on. I hope to do some more projects here with you in the future. Thanks for coming out to the film set that we did just recently with Giggly Dickens.
We're still going to continue that, right? Maybe like in August?
I think so. We'll have to talk to Gio and see what he's doing. So, all right.
That'd be cool.
All right, everyone. I think this is it. This is the end of another podcast. Thank you, Arturo, for being on.
Of course.
If you actually, do you got a reel anywhere or anything like that, so I can like post that down below? You got something?
I have a couple of my acting reels, and I'm working on the dramatic reel in Sacramento. We're still doing that.
You got a portfolio or a website or something like that?
What was that?
You got a portfolio or a website or something like that?
I can send you my SF Casting link, and it has all my commercials on there.
There we go. SF Casting link will be down below, so you can find his information. Follow him on Instagram. Follow Make Media on Instagram. And that's it. Let's have a good day.
Eric, you the man.
We're out.
Late, guys.